professional logo reveal in After Effects for your clean shield icon, you will first need to import your asset and organize your workspace. Setting up your composition correctly is the foundation for a smooth workflow. Before we start animating, let's organize everything properly. Keeping your project organized makes it much easier to manage, especially when your project becomes larger with multiple elements. Now our logo is perfectly positioned and ready for animation. The default Vegas effect doesn't look very impressive, so we'll customize it to create a clean animated outline. Adjust the following settings until you get a smooth, sharp edge around the logo. Take a moment to tweak these values until you're satisfied. Increase the length to create a continuous outline, reduce the segments if necessary for cleaner curves, and fine-tune the width, hardness, and opacity to achieve a crisp, glowing stroke. Finally, animate the rotation or completion parameter, depending on the look you're going for, to make the outline travel around the logo. The quality of this outline will have a big impact on the final logo reveal. Convert the layers to 3D. Once the Vegas outline looks perfect, we're ready to add some depth to the animation. Enable the 3D layer switch for both the original logo layer and the Vegas outline layer. Now slightly separate them along the Z-axis by nudging one layer forward or backward. This small offset prevents rendering artifacts and creates subtle depth when we introduce a camera later in the tutorial. At this stage, the composition is no longer flat. We've prepared our logo for cinematic camera movement and lighting, giving the reveal a much more premium and realistic appearance. In the next section, we'll begin animating the Vegas outline and use it to drive the logo reveal with smooth, professional motion. Creating the reflection layer for the glass effect. Now let's create the reflection that will give our logo a realistic glass appearance. Create a new solid that will act as the reflection map. Rename it Reflection Map so it's easy to identify. This layer will not be visible in the final animation. Instead, it will control how the light refracts through the glass effect. Using the pen tool, draw a few soft shapes that represent light reflections. Fill these masks with different shades of white, light gray, and dark gray. These grayscale values will determine the height information used by the CC glass effect. To animate the reflections, apply the offset effect. Animate the shift center to properties so the grayscale reflections slowly travel across the layer. This creates natural-looking moving highlights without having to animate each mask individually. To improve the quality of our glass refraction, we're going to create a separate composition that will be used exclusively as the surface map for the CC glass effect. Start by duplicating the main logo composition. This composition won't be visible in the final animation. It will simply provide height information for the glass effect, leaving only the elements needed to define the logo's edges. The Find Edges effect creates high contrast outlines that work extremely well as a bump map for CC glass. If necessary, invert the result or adjust the brightness and contrast to create cleaner, more defined edges. The sharper the contrast, the better the glass effect will respond. Applying the CC glass effect. Inside the CC glass settings, locate the bump map section for the composition. Option, choose the newly created glass surface map composition. Then, under Layer, select the layer containing the Find Edges effect. You'll immediately notice that the glass refraction becomes much more detailed and realistic because CC glass is now using the edge information from the duplicated composition to calculate the surface depth. Now begin adjusting the CC glass properties to achieve the desired look. Fine-tune the height, softness, displacement, light height, light direction, and shininess until the logo has a clean, polished glass appearance. Small adjustments can make a significant difference, so spend some time refining the settings, adding CC Blobulize. To complete the effect, apply CC Blobulize to the same logo layer. Place CC Blobulize below the CC Glass effect in the Effect Controls panel so that the glass refraction is calculated before the blobby distortion. Adjust the blob layer, softness, cutaway, and blobiness values to create smooth, fluid edges around the logo. The goal is to add a subtle, organic transition rather than an exaggerated liquid effect. With the animated reflection map driving CC Glass and CC Blobulize softening the edges, the logo now has a rich, premium-looking glass reveal that reacts naturally to the moving reflections, creating the final animation composition. Now it's time to build the final composition, where we'll combine all of our previous work into one cinematic scene. A 35mm camera works well for this animation. Drag the logo reveal composition that we created earlier into this new composition. With the composition selected, enable collapse transformations, also known as continuously rasterize. This is an important step because it preserves the 3D information from the nested composition. Since our logo layers were slightly nudged along the Z-axis, enabling this switch ensures they remain in true 3D space instead of becoming a flat pre-composition. You'll immediately notice that your composition is now viewed through the camera, allowing us to create cinematic movement with depth and perspective. To create a master control for the camera animation, select the camera controller. Go to Effect, right arrow Expression Controls, right arrow Slider Control, linking the camera position with expressions. Now we'll connect the camera movement to the slider using expressions. Select the position property of the camera or the camera controller, depending on your setup. Hold Alt and click the position stopwatch to enable expressions. Using the expression pick whip, drag it to the camera progress slider or write your expression manually to map the slider value to the camera's position. With this setup complete, changing a single slider value will smoothly control the camera movement throughout the reveal. It also makes it much easier to fine-tune the animation later without editing multiple position keyframes. In the next section, we'll enhance the movement with easing, depth of field, and subtle camera shake to give the reveal a polished, cinematic finish. The animation begins with the Vegas outline tracing around the logo. As the Vegas effect travels along the edges, it gradually introduces the logo, creating a clean and energetic reveal. Creating the background elements, the background also contributes to the overall look. And apply CC ball action. Adjust the ball size and spacing until you have an abstract particle pattern. Rotate the background in 3D space and animate it slowly to create gentle movement behind the logo. You can also link or synchronize parts of this animation with the Vegas layer so the background subtly reacts as the logo reveal progresses, helping to unify the entire composition. Reflections continue to glide across its surface, producing a premium glass finish. Adding camera shake. To add impact as the logo finishes revealing, introduce a subtle camera shake. Create a new shape layer. Animate the shape layer so the shake occurs only during the final impact of the reveal. Keep the movement quick and controlled. A slight shake adds energy and realism without distracting from the logo, adding the finishing highlights. adding the logo tagline. Once the logo animation is complete, it's time to introduce the tagline. Create a new text layer below the logo and type your company tagline. Open the Effects and Presets panel and apply the Blur Fade in Text Animation preset. Adjust the timing so the tagline appears immediately after the logo finishes revealing. This staggered animation creates a smooth visual flow and naturally draws the viewer's attention from the logo to the text. Preview and final adjustments. We're almost finished. Press 0 on the numeric keypad to generate a preview and watch the complete animation from start to finish. Pay close attention to the timing of the Vegas outline, reflection movement, camera animation, light sweep, background motion, and tagline reveal. If needed, make small adjustments to the easing, opacity, or camera movement until every transition feels smooth and balanced. Thank you for watching. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss future After Effects tutorials.